There's no particular guarantee when this happens, unlike these cards, which should actually have a nice pulsing to them, so that there's always 6. Now I'm somehow drifted, I think, to 7. Obviously, I didn't pull an event when I should. I'm not going to try to fix that. But we've got level 2 cards coming out, and that means that level A is 2 eras out of date. So leaders who are from level A, and I better pay attention to these. I can't just destroy the leader. So here, each military unit gives an additional strength. So we got to recount his strength. So he's got 1, 2, 3. He should be losing 2 strength. There's an additional that he had and an additional there. So he should be losing 2 strength off himself because of Alexander going away. I hope that whoever this guy had, which I think had to do with culture, is okay, because we may have miscalculated him. So as far as I see, I only see 2 culture in his hands. And this is pale gray. I've got him at 3 culture. No, that would have been Homer. I don't know who I got rid of here. So I've got to recalculate all this guy's stuff, because I don't know what's what on him. So he's got 1 culture, 2, 3 culture. That's right. Science, he's at 2, 4, 5. We counted his science. I'm pretty sure of that. He should be at like 7. His military is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's where he's at. So I think he's fine here. We got to check through his cards. If he has any, there aren't going to be any period A's here. But if he has any period A's in his hand, he loses them. If he was building a thingy, monument, whatever they're called, wonder, he would lose it. Homer. So Homer is going to kill 2 of my victory point pieces per turn. So is that correct that I'm at 1? It looks at. And Homer goes away. I think I'm good with everything else I have here. Over here, let's make sure he's not holding a card he can't. He's going to lose Aristotle. Aristotle doesn't have anything, any kind of continuous effect. Okay. Now, I have a whole handful of crap here. God, these little cards. I'm used to pushing things onto the printed card, and I can't get it onto that. So what do I have? I have a number of these. I have Fighting Band, which I have no interest in. I have Legion, which I maybe have interest in. If I'm going to increase my size of my army, Legion gives me an extra point on top of the army that I have. So Fighting Band I'm going to discard. I'm allowed 4 of these. Open Borders Agreement. If both civilizations gain 1 military action more, if one attacks the other, the attacking civilization has +3 strength. Wow. That's kind of dangerous. Especially among powers that are kind of close in strength, and everybody's kind of close now. I don't know if we want this additional military action all that badly. Let's look at some of these others. Cultural influence. Each civilization immediately scores its culture rating. Well, I'm good at that still, so that's appealing. And these others maybe less so. So I'm going to bank this one for a victory point. We'll worry about these in a little bit. This one's definitely getting discarded. So I think I still have to get rid of 1 more though. Alright, that triggers an event. I'll try to remember this time. Immigration. The civilization with the most happy faces increases its population by 1. Now, population isn't its total possible population. It's amount of workers that it has available. So I'll get an unemployed worker. Who has the most happy faces? 4, 3, 2, 3. Looks like the guy with 4. So he immediately creates another worker. And that's all that happens there. All right. Now I have to get rid of another card. Honestly, the least valuable one to me is this open borders agreement. I'm not willing to spend waste an action on it because the territories, the colonization opportunities seem cool, or potentially so. All right. I have no leader. But we're in the second deck here. Ignore the effects of your tactics card. Each of your cav or bonus. Yeah, I definitely don't want that. How about Michelangelo? He'll give me extra music or whatever for happiness. Well, I don't think that's worth, even though that's the victory points, I don't think it's worth trying to grab that way out there. So, let's take a look at where we're at. Militarily, we're okay. Obviously, we could get better. We already have warfare, so we can't get that. Hey, there's the Great Wall. Why don't we start building it? I like wonders. This is going to cost us actually 3 to start building because we have 2 wonders already in play. But this one adds to your strength for each infantry and artillery. So it seems kind of an appealing choice. All right. Yeah, but now I'm out of little chits, and that's kind of problematic. So, or I'm low on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the Great Wall a level, and I'm the guy with the Legion, right? I'll spend 2 more rocks. These are worth 2 each. No, I won't. Give me that back. I'll spend 3 food. To put someone in here. I'll spend 2 rocks to move that guy to be a warrior. Now, my war has just gone up by 1. I'm going to replace the fighting band with the Legion. That's going to cost me another red, and I've just put this into play. This gives me another point because the fighting band only gave me 1. This is going to give 2, so I've strengthened myself. I still have 2 cards, or 2 red things. There's not a lot I can do with them, so I'm going to hold them for draws. Okay. Points is that I get. Looks like I get 4 yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I get 4 purple. And I really suspect that green, jumped ahead and cheated in other ways as well. It's not that I like green in any sort of way. I can guarantee you that. I mean, it's better than orange. And maybe gray, I don't know. The color choices for this game are kind of weird. Green's actually probably the most common one. All right, so my farms. I get 2 food from my farms, but I have to eat 1. And now my rocks. I produce 2 singles and a double. And I get 2 of these higher tech warfare ones. And these are going to give me some military capabilities, like assassination here, which is going to cost actions equal to the leader. And then I can get money. So I can actually try to destroy a leader using this, which is kind of cool. And I think that's the end for that. I got to swap my battery out and stuff like that. Right. So here on this guy. I'm going to need to use some of these. I'm gray. I'm not really very good on military. I have an event. Each player loses 2 civil actions per discontented worker. I probably don't have discontented workers. Trade routes agreement. Once per round, a civilization A can use a grain instead of a rock. Once per round, civilization B can use a rock instead of a grain. That sounds pretty cool. I could connect that with Orange here, who's doing very poorly, and we both have an advantage out of it. I like the sound of that. Plunder, a rival loses a total of 3 rocks in or this. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer a trade agreement. No. I think if it doesn't get accepted, I'm screwed out of my actions still. But I can't see why Orange would refuse this. So we'll set this up. And now I have a card to discard. I think I'll get rid of the heavy cav. I don't know. How useful is this plunder? A rival loses a total of 3 rocks. You gain them. You know, I mean, chances are I'm not going to want to use this. I'm low on the military side. Maybe I have the... Maybe the heavy cav will come in useful. Okay. Because I only have 2 of these. So now... There is a monument, but it's expensive. It would cost me 3 to take. It's kind of nice. It's happy faces. I would like happy faces. But on the other hand, there's things like warfare, which are also kind of nice. And, well, I can't take Genghis Khan. What does Da Vinci do? He improves my tech. But also, every time I play a tech card, I get a rock. Okay. So, build Wonder for cheaper, but I can't get it cheaper. One of the problems when I'm playing, you know, just one country, I can kind of focus in and say, geez, I'm running, you know, close to the edge on my corruption. How can I figure this out? And I don't want to think that hard when I'm soloing. So my decisions aren't going to be as good as maybe they would be otherwise. I really like the Basilica, to tell you the truth. Because I need a lot more happiness. So I'm going to take the Basilica, and that puts it here. It also gives fame or whatever. And now, I could blow 4 rocks. That's not bad compared to my other stuff. Yeah, I think, and this is not a technology either. I think I'm going to shoot the 4 rocks, take a level of the Basilica. That gets me close to finishing it. Do I need more military? I have extra people, I don't have extra rocks available. So the answer is no. Okay. So we produce our technology. It says we're at like 7. Wow, we're just rocking along here. And this is every time you play a technology card. Yeah, I should be starting to take advantage of those. And then over here, it looks like I'm only getting 3 victory points. My farms. My food, yum yum yum, I eat it all. My rocks. And I have no corruption. But I'll have the Basilica, that'll shoot my happiness up. And anything that likes happiness will work well for me. I chose not to use my ability. I probably will never remember to use it, right? Yeah. And we get 2 of these. And we've got more exciting armies, like the Napoleonic army here, which if I can get an archer is much, much better than anything else. And these also improve. You can see the values have gone up on those as the military's gotten bigger. Okay, this goes away. Coal, a higher level of the, lots of journalism available. And there's Napoleon. Now I hear people say Napoleon is the key to victory in this game. I don't know. You gain a military action. The tactics bonus of your best army is added to your civilization strength again. Well, how big is that? With the Napoleonic army, it could be pretty big. You could be adding an extra 8 to your army. That's pretty potent. He's a layer 2 character, so you'll have him through eras 2 and 3. So he could take advantage of a lot. You know, he could beat up on a lot of the other players. So that becomes a very intriguing thing. Is it as valuable? You know, this guy doesn't have an army that's worthwhile. Will he get one? Maybe, maybe not. You don't know what you're going to pull out of here. If you have lots of military, you have a little bit better clue, though. Okay. Well, I don't have any cards I want to play or have to play. So, and I'd only be adding 2 to my military strength with him. Here's the question then, you know, do I want... He adds an additional strength and produces a harp per thing. That's as good as my light cav, and I'll be getting victory points off of it. That's appealing. Michelangelo, my temples, theaters, and wonders all produce harps for their happy faces. And it costs me less, one less civil action to take wonders. Well, what were those again? The temples, theaters, and wonders. Well, I don't have anybody in temple. This, I would get something. An extra harp for each happy face. I would get 2 extra victory points a turn for that. On the other hand, this guy gives me 2 extra victory points a turn at a cheaper level. Worthwhile? I think so. I probably am not going to get Napoleon. So let's pay for him. So we get Genghis Khan. What else are we doing here? We're low on technology, that's the problem. Okay. We'll play Khan. And that keeps my strength the same. The light cavalry no longer are scoring, but he gets 1 for each horseman he has, which equals what the light cavalry are. So, what do we have here? We just get 2 more of these, which are, of course, the way you win the game, right? Okay. And now, I would very much like to get that printing press in place. So I'll put that there. It doesn't give me anything right away. It costs me 3 intellect, though. Now this is a library, it's not a lab, but I do have a person here. So for 4, 1, 2. Oh Jesus, these stupid little discs, I really despise them. For 4, I move my guy over here to the printing press. That boosts me another one of these, that's how it happens, and a light bulb. So now I'll be getting, you know, more intellect out of this. Well, all I got left is military, which is a pity. If I had more people, I could throw them into the military. So I guess I pass at this point, and I get my points, which is I am green, so I get 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. And, you know, warfare might have been nice, right? And I get 4 of these. And now my farms. I have to eat one. My rocks. I don't have to eat rocks. I don't know what these are. I think they're ones that got jiggled in some way. And I have a lot of tokens because I got extras from here. And now I get 2 new military cards. And that'll put me over here. And he has... his coal getting cheaper and cheaper. He probably won't get another shot at coal. Since he doesn't have iron, he probably wants to grab coal. Just as a thought. Alright, I get a chance to play one of these. Now, plunder is my only one of these, and I'm not very good at military. I could pick on green. He's in the lead. If I play this, I have to play 2 of my red chips, though. And my bid starts out as 1, 2, 3, looks like 4. And I got 6 here. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So my bid would start off as 6. This guy's bid is already above that. So I would have to start destroying units to have any possibility of an effect. And I don't think that's at all worthwhile. So I don't want to play either of my cards. My other card is a defensive card. Okay. So now, I have a bunch of these. Why do I... Am I the guy with the buku? This guy has a fair amount too. Okay. So these are the... Oh, I have an iron in my hand. So maybe it's not worth digging down to coal, right? Maybe it is. You know, I've found that lots and lots of metal wasn't necessary the one time I played, so you don't know. Michelangelo, what'll he do? And what will Napoleon do? Napoleon won't do much for me yet. Michelangelo, temples, theaters, and wonders produce extra victory for happy faces. Not arenas. So, this would be nice. I would get more victory points if I have theology being under play. And I do have to kind of worry about my happy face situation. It's not very good right now. Alternatively, I could spend big for Napoleon. What does masonry do me? Buildings cost 1 less for urbans, and I can build 2 stages of a wonder with a single civil action. That's real nice. What about architecture? That's getting more expensive. Level 1 urban building, so these are cheaper as you go, in 3 stages of a wonder for a single civil action. So this is clearly better of the same sort of thing. How much tech do I have? Not a whole hell of a lot. And I've got things to do that, you know, I kind of want to already spend my tech on. Jeez. There's so much to do. Alright. Do I have 4 tech? I do not. I have 3 tech. So I can't get anything from any of these. I'm going to buy Michelangelo. I've got room for him because I got so many white chits. I'm going to play Michelangelo. Temples, theaters, and wonders. Well, none of them create me happiness yet. I need to build me a people. I don't have any food. Oh, this is problematic. And this is for upgrades. Jesus. I need food. Well, I work with him. I'm going to convert, what is it? It's 1 sack. 1 stone I'm going to feed. That's not good enough. I need more than 1. It cost me 3 to get people. Oh, what am I going to do? Damn. I got problems here. I could fire somebody from my ironworks, but that doesn't seem terribly valuable. I got just nothing but problems. Frugality, but I can't increase the production to begin with. Well, this is seriously bad. I gotta keep thinking. I don't know what to do with him. He's kind of at an impasse. I hate to do it. I think I'm going to fire him, a guy from the bronze works. Can't really afford to get rid of some of my military guys. Then I'm gonna make him. Jeez. I have not enough rocks either, though. That's the problem. Into a theology. That gets me 1, 2 harps and a happiness. Hey, I'm finally getting some score on the board. I have the efficient upgrade. I'll play this. This works on a farm, mine, or urban building. I'll upgrade this. That is going to increase my happiness by a point and my victory points by a point. And this is not putting me in a particularly good position to be generating food or anything, but it's sort of the best I can do. And now I guess I'll buy another efficient upgrade because I have plans in the future for an upgrade. I don't have anything to do with my military. And we get our score. Well, we finally get some points. 1, 2, 3. And only 2 science still. But that's enough to get us where we want to go. Our farms produce 2. We have to eat 1, so it drops down to the 1 level. Again, not optimal, but we produce 3 rocks. We're going to have to try to bootstrap ourselves somehow. We've got people doing stupid things, basically. And then the final thing is we get 2 of these. Maybe they'll work out for us. At least we get some victory points out of them, right? And that'll put us over here. Purple's back around. I've moved the border cards up, and we've got some interesting things like Napoleon showing up here. Maybe I want to pick up just to make sure nobody else gets, right? But I do have some options here in terms of my cards. I only have to play 1, and the rest can be held. Assassinate could let me get rid of a leader, but I have to make a military attack to do it. It is an aggression, unfortunately, which might be difficult to do. it is somewhat my protection against Napoleon, perhaps, but if somebody has Napoleon, they have so much military, I can't do it. Raid, destroy up to 2 of a rival's urban buildings of the same type and level, and I get some rocks. Rocks are nice. Victory points are nicer, which leads me to say, you know, I probably want to throw one of these guys in. So the question here becomes, which one, you know, how much population do I want to throw in? I'm in the lead right now, so I'm going to throw the bigger one in, grab myself 1 point, and yeah, try to line it. I'm trying to decide if it's important that I discard one of these, like maybe this last one. Pestilence. Each civilization loses a population. Now, this is painful because I don't have an unused worker, so I've got to dump one out of somewhere. And I think probably the safest place I can dump someone out of is out of the agricultural sector, because I have so much food. Going over here, well, I'd rather... I believe I actually have to choose an unemployed. I'm not certain about that. Here, same situation, except this guy is kind of short on food. I think he may have actually moved someone over into the food sector so that he could start working towards getting more people, but I'll take the loss there. It's a cheap sector to get people back into. And over here, well, obviously I can't get rid of someone over in irrigation, which puts me in a tough position. Do I need the science? I have 5 there. This is 5 will get me a layer. I'll be able to play a card with the 5. So I don't actually absolutely need to grow more science. An alternative would be to destroy this, but I think I need manpower. I think I need bronze work more. So I'm going to lose a science off of Orange's production capabilities, which they really can't afford. All right. Oh. And I ditch these back in the box every now and then. All right. I don't think it terribly hurts to have the extra one in there, so I'll just leave it there because somebody intended to put it in and is thinking that. I have nothing. No cards. So, how big a deal is it to get the Great Wall into play? How big a deal is it to get Napoleon into play? I've heard such big things about Napoleon, I'm going to have to go for it. We have a government worth having actually up here too, though. So I'm going to spend the 2, grab my Napoleon. Do I want to play him? Yeah. Of course I do. So he's going to gain a military action and the tactics bonus of my best army added to my strength again. Well, that's a 2-point army. I'm purple. And I get another little red shit. For the Great Wall. Huh. How's my technology? I've got a pretty good amount of technology. I'm not going to be able to complete the Great Wall this turn, so I may want to pick up something. Like one of these, because these are really awesome. So I'm going to buy Architecture, which my level 1 buildings, so I can build 3 stages of a wonder on 1 action chit. So I'll play this for the 6 technology. Now the problem with this is I'm going to hit shortages, but I'm okay with that, I think. Actually, I don't need to spend this yet. Let's take that back. Let's upgrade one of these for 3 instead. So I'll pay 3 stone to move a dude up there. And that'll keep my shortages from being as bad. What about military stuff? Well, there's not a whole hell of a lot I can do with them. I actually have an extra 1 over the number of cards that I need. So, excuse me, I'll be passing on to points. 4 yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 purple. And produce for the farms. I only produce 1 for the farms. I have to eat it. I produce 2 and 1, which keeps me from having any corruption. And I will be getting 5 cards. I'm gonna really start cycling through these suckers, but not used to that. Why do I have 2 extra red? I get 1 extra red from Warfare. Okay. And I think that's the end of the line for him. Now, picking Napoleon means that I forewent things like the Call card, which maybe I really want it. But you kind of have to make... Ooh, cannon. Justice System. And Bach. Alright. So I got Da Vinci, I can't remember him. Labs or Library produces I think it's just one of them, produces an initial amount of science equal to its level. Okay. I assume that's already covered. What about these? I don't want to disband this, that's only good for me. I can't play these, I can only keep 2. Well, I clearly want to play Rebellion. If people have discontented workers, that's their problem. I don't. That triggers rats. Everyone loses all their stored food. Well, lucky me, I don't have any. And this is not necessarily a bad event for most of the countries, because usually I find myself producing too much food. We had at least one person, though, who was not producing enough food. And this will be problematic for them. That means we're going to have a reshuffle over here. And I have to get rid of a card. I want to keep the Napoleonic Army, I think, because I'm only an artillery away from that, so I will discard that one, because I can only hold 2. Okay. Now what? Well, I can use these as food if I need to, but I don't have much food. Masonry is the secondary one of these. I like it. It's not as good as the one, the architecture that was just bought, but I think it's a good buy since I have the Basilica. So I will take that. That's going to allow me to build, well, it's not as important. Maybe I don't want that. Maybe coal is more important. I think coal is important. Okay, I will buy a coal. How's my technology for gray? My technology is actually pretty good. I don't know that I need journalism because I don't have any libraries, so I'd have to shift people. Now, the nice thing about it is it gives you culture. We'll see. Because I kind of want to get coal underway. To do this, I have to play one of these. Oh, maybe I don't want to. Maybe I want St. Peter's Basilica more. That cost me 4 stone. I don't have anything that helps with that. We'll move the stone. Yeah, I know. St. Peter's is over here. I get 2 more victory points a turn. And I get double the happy faces. Well, right now I have 2 happy faces, 4 happy faces. I'm up to 8 happy faces. I'm really happy. This might mean I can get some people out of religion, right? Well, I don't know. Okay. What else can I do? I could buy these sciences if this track is limited, but I'm not sure I really want to. Constitutional Monarchy's nice. I might want that, but that would just go into my bank. Alternatively, I have a lot of science. I have some good things. I'm going to buy more cards. I like cards. The problem with buying lots of cards, you move the deck quicker, your cards become less valuable. Yeah, I know. All right. What about my military? My military's not doing terribly well at all. I really need the cannon, but whatever. So I think I'll leave those there rather than boost someone. I go to my production. That's 7. A lot of technology, and I can play it all at once, but one nice thing with it is I can do the expensive, say, Constitutional Monarchy and get it up for 12 science and only 1 of these, and that can be a really huge boost if you can do that. I like to do that if possible. And I get my social, which looks like it's only at 3. Not so good. This is what wins you the game, right? Okay. Production. I forgot to eat. I gotta eat 2. 4 of these come over here. And I'm really not cranking the production to the degree I want to. And then finally, I get 2 of these. And that'll push over to the next player. I'm going to break because I need to swap battery and such. Over here I had a handful of cards that did not help him. Threw away fortifications, which might be cool, but not with Khan particularly, although I could shift over. And a couple of defense cards, which maybe are more useful. Now I've got to make my purchase. Now, for me, I feel like my capability of producing science is not terribly good. Scientific method's out here. That's very good at it. Journalism's here, though, too. And I like kind of the mixture of victory points and science. I'm in the lead in victory points. I'd like to keep it that way. So, I think, given that all I have is this building site, I'm going to pay... See, this is really expensive for me, but I'm going to pay 1, grab journalism, because I don't need a lot of happiness coming out here. Unfortunately, I don't have 6 science to build my journalism, but yeah, that's okay. I think my next... Do I want this? It's a significant improvement. How about Newton? Creates extra science to its level, and you get civil actions back when you play a new technology. This costs you less for theaters, and theaters produce more. I don't know, that doesn't look terribly valuable to me unless I was going here. Robespierre, a revolution costs you all your military actions instead of all your civil actions. Well, you know, if I can get Robespierre, this makes sense. I'm going to put this in my hand. And then what? I have 1 more action. I have no food. What is that action going to do? Well, I can upgrade my iron production. That seems to be the best I can do. Which means it's going to cost me 3. Unfortunately, unlike, say, Civilization or whatever, I can't make any kind of trading with other players. This is all a hey, you're playing this on your own type of deal. Okay. I use those up. I've got reds. I could not build military because I don't have any army. So, I guess I'm done. And I take my points. My science points, green, I get 4. No, 3. And then culture points, I get 4. Okay. Now I get my food. Oh, yum food. I don't have to eat it at least. Rocks. I get a bunch of rocks. I am very wealthy in rocks. These are all worth 2. But I'm poor in food, and I wish I had that deal. And I get, I guess, 2 military cards. Victory points and such not. Okay. That gets rid of this one. Yep. Now, orange does not have a lot of tech. They don't have a very big military. Plunder, you know, so unlikely that I'll want to do this. So what about these others? Civil unrest. Each civilization loses 4 for each discontent marker. I don't have any discontent markers. International agreement. The strongest civilization may immediately take civil cards up to the value of 5 civil actions by giving up its next chance to take political action. So this would allow them to take cards from here, whoever's the strongest. I would rather not do that. I'll take 2 victory points for dropping this into play. And that triggers an event, which I don't really like events because they probably favor other people. Reign of Terror. The weakest civilization loses a population. That's not me, because it's my turn right now. It means that gray loses a population. Gray's over here. Well, there it goes. They just killed them off. Okay. I got to get rid of another one. I'll get rid of this. Okay. Over on my turn, what do I have? I can do upgrades more cheaply. I have technology. So I could improve either my philosophy to an alchemy, which will get me more science, or my iron, which will let me build more things. I'm not sure which makes more sense. I think this is the better long-term choice because I need the sciences. So, put these here. I spend 1 to play alchemy here. That spends 4 of my tech. What does Michelangelo do? Temples, theaters, and wonders. Well, that's none of what I have that I'm putting down. Oh well. Okay. I will pay 3 rocks to upgrade my alchemist. And now I'm getting another point of science over here. That says I'm only getting 2 science. Is that right? I guess so. Wow. I have not enough food to start new people. I could have played this instead. That'll give me 2 stones back. Let's do that. That's a level 1 card. We kind of would rather not. You know, we would rather use these things when we can. I can't play either of these techs. So now I have some additional cards left. Other leaders. Newton, your best lab or library produces additional science. Every time you play a technology card, you get 1 spent civil action back. Now, I played a technology. I could have done this in a different order. Is Michelangelo doing that much for me? He's giving me additional victory card points for each happiness, for temples, theaters, and wonders. That would be 2 for this, right? That's all I'm seeing. Oh, and I get a 3rd one for the temple itself. Victory points are important, but technology is probably more important. So let me rewind a little bit, and I'm taking the Newton card. Let me see what I have here. See, this would be really helpful to me too. I'm playing the Newton card before I played this. That gives me this. I'm just rewinding time a little bit here. I'm going to buy the cannon. Or do I want this? I'm going to buy the cannon. I don't have the technology yet, but I really kind of need it. Now, part of my problem right now is I don't have food, so I can't shift people. It costs me 3 food to move people, so I don't have, the capability to push people out of here into there, even with this extra point here. So do I want to buy more cards? Frugality. This is not a card I like, but I'm going to buy it. Because I have a lot of whites left, and I don't think it hurts me to do it. And then finally, scientific method. I could upgrade my lab even more. I forgot to up my science. So Newton says my best lab or library produces an additional amount of science, which means I get 2 additional science here. But I lost something for that. I lost, and I don't know if I'm right, Michelangelo, who was giving me happy face happiness, which means I'm down to just 1 there for this. Harps for happiness. Okay. I got 1 more point left for cards. I got room for more things. Do I want the damn opera? Or do I want scientific method? I don't have scientific method yet. Let's take it into my hand. I don't think this is good because I'm way behind on victory points and I'm running the deck out. And then I have these. Those aren't going to help me. Okay. Orange, I get 4 tech. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get only 1 victory point. Jeez. I get my food, which is just 1 disc, but it's worth 2. However, I have to eat 1. Rocks, I get 3 rocks, and I need to upgrade those. And then I get my military cards, which having a lot of military actions without a strong military kind of sucks. And that brings us back around. Okay. So, set up the new, where the cards are facing purple here. Purple's got a huge hand of these. He's got his first war card. Now, I've got a good jump on things. This is the victor takes a total number of rocks and grain equal to the strength advantage from the defeated civilization. What would happen with a war is I set it up, probably put a cube to indicate who I'm attacking. And it sits around until my next turn. And then we do bidding, and no defense cards or anything like that are in play. And it can go in either direction. If I pick on one of the weak guys, it makes sense, but I'm not sure this gives me anything I want that terribly much. Likewise, these aggressions, you know, in a way throwing events in probably is going to benefit me at least as much as the aggressions do. The advantage with the aggressions is I could target someone if there was someone I wanted to target. Say Green down here, who is a little weaker than me. But, you know, what do I want to do? I think I'd like to increase my strength a little bit. I got a shot with Napoleon before I go into any of those. So let's look at these. So this is an inhabited territory. It'll give me more people if it comes to me. And this one gives fame and population. I think I like the fame and population better. It gives me points right away. There's nothing I need to worry about. Now, I gotta start ditching some of these cards. I think I'll keep the other one of them. 1, 2, on the off chance that I'm gonna go away. This is going. Yeah, on the off chance somebody attacks me. What about these others? Which might I want to keep? Assassination, I could get rid of somebody's leader. And then I get a bunch of fame for it. That sounds better than this. Destroy up to 2 of the rivals' urban buildings of the same type and level. I like stealing technology. That might make sense. Plunder. A total... I'll keep a war, I guess. I don't know. See, the thing with the war is, because the defense cards don't work on it, you know that the other guy doesn't have a hoard of value sitting back there. Alright. I'll have to bid real troops. So, where are we? And what do we have? We have this architecture, which we'd like to get out before we do the Great Wall, definitely. Which means we have lots of technology. Anything else? We can't replace Napoleon. I'd love to get that cannon. I don't have any tactics. That's what's kind of killing me here. Okay. Justice system. So while that seems like an upgrade to this, they're just completely separate things. So I could get more blues. But let's get the architecture into play. I think that's our goal right now. I push that in. I have to spend 6 technology from purple. And that gets this into play. And let's see. My level 1 buildings cost 1 less. Level 2 and 3 cost 2 less. Only urban buildings. And I can build 3 stages of a wonder as a single civic action. Up to 3. So this will cost me 7 rock. I have that. So I spend my civic action. I spend 2, 4, 6, 7 rock. And I build the Great Wall. Which puts me up 1 happiness. Sorry, 1 harpiness, and 1 happiness. But it has other effects. Add 1 to your strength for each infantry and artillery unit. Well, I have 3 infantry, so there goes my strength going up. Okay, that's pretty sweet. Now, I still have some white chips. I still have some red chips, but I have nothing I can do with them, really. Unless I buy those cannons. That'll cost me 2 whites to get. I like the justice system. I'm gonna pick that up. Do I have 7? I do. Why don't I buy this? My science creation is okay, it's not great. I would like to improve it, but I don't have anything that I can do with it. So the justice system, I just paid to buy, I think. Let me see what I did. I paid to play architecture. I paid for the wall. I bought the justice system. Now I'm placing it, I guess. That's going to be 7 tech. Purple. All the way down. This gives me a civil action and 3 blue tokens. Yeah, I can't hold more than about 4 tokens in my hand because they're rounded like this. They go flipping all over the place. Hey, I don't even lose 0 anymore to corruption. Alright. I like collecting tokens. I think they're useful. So that leaves me with 2 more actions. I could still take the cannon. Sounds like a good idea to me. Because I don't want to get stuck with none of my white actions and a bunch of reds. And then dealing the whole hand here. I've got some points to gain. Well, that deck doesn't really affect time, I guess. I don't know what happens if it runs out, though. Alright. So now we get our points for the era. Looks like 4 science, and I really should be recounting because it's always wrong. So there's 2 science. Where's my other 2 science? It's coming from the university. Okay. And now culture. It says I'm getting 7 a turn. Wow. 7 culture a turn. There's 1, 2, 3. Where's the rest? There's another one. Well, something must have gone away that gave me lots of culture. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am down to 5. I think I was getting some off of my military. Somebody was doing that. I don't think it was him. I don't know where I was getting it from anymore. But yeah, I'm down to 5 culture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now the food transference. I'm not producing much in the way of food. We got to fix that. Of course, I don't have a lot. So I have a lot of people, but I don't have to feed them much because they're people that I got through weird ways. I'm actually not sure I got any weird people. I got one here. Okay. And then I don't have any of that. And I get a whole pile of these. I get 5 new cards. And that creates a weird situation. You know, like we saw here where I had just so many cards to play. All right. I need a bit of a break. There's an interesting wonder available here, the Kremlin. I'd have to pay all my white chits to get it, but I can leave it out there and hope nobody else gets it. It's interesting, particular for Gray, because Gray has St. Peter's Basilica and has so much happiness that they don't really get hurt by the unhappiness of the Kremlin that much. And the Kremlin gives you government-like bonuses. It gives you a white and a red chit, gives you some status. And you know, overall, that's just pretty sweet. Of course, it costs a lot right now in terms of white chits that I'm not going to be able to play. Let's take a look at what we have here. Well, I can only hold 2 of these. And the question is, conquistadors or Napoleonic army? That's a big question. I'm going to play this strategic territory, which gives a handful of cards and some military. as the event. We'll see what happens from that first, because I want my 2 victory points. And of course, that triggers the next event, a rebellion. Each player loses 2 civil action per discontented workers. I don't think anybody has any. Okay. I don't want to lose my defense, so I've got to keep one of these. And the question is, do I need the medieval army? Do I need the Napoleonic army with its 8 strength? Or should I just go for what I have? Because there is no artillery on the board, and I think I'm going to take the latter option and go with the conquistadors. I don't want to throw away this, but I'm only going to use one of those 2 anyway, presumably. All right. That means we got to boost our military a little bit. So, we got a whole bunch of stuff that's built not to boost military. And we have no food. Jeez. All right. What's our technology? Our technology's out the ass. Every time you play a technology, I produce a rock. That sounds pretty good. Food is definitely a problem here. I'm not even terribly worried about any of these. I just don't think that, except possibly a leader, I don't think any of them are going to help me enough. So I'm playing 3 technology for irrigation. 1, 2, 3. All right. That gets me a rock. I have to move people up. 2 rocks. Move someone up. Now I'm producing more food. What about my coal? I want to buy that too. 7 technology gives me a coal. That goes here. I get a rock for that. This is going to cost me 6. I don't have 6. So I'll spend 2. Get more food. I don't want to do the military bonus yet because, well, I need the people before I can do that. So I'm not going to be doing anything with those. And let's go to production. Gray. This says it produces 7 science. Is that right? 2, 4, 6. Where's the other one? 7. Sounds good. It also says I only get 3 happiness. 2, 3. I see more. 4, 5. Bet you I lost out last time. Okay. So 7 science. Did I count it in? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 5 happiness. That's gray. Okay. Foodses. Still only 2 discs, but they're worth more. And I got 4 rock discs coming to me. We got to get those people working on at better efficiency. And now I get my 2 cards. Push it back. And another architecture card. Two strongest civilizations. Well, one of those is me. I'd like that. I'm putting that in. No, it may not be at that point, but 2 victory points for that. Nah, I got to get rid of one of my cards. I don't really want to get rid of victory points, so we'll throw a defense card that, you know, is running out at some point. Well, so I got a choice. I could throw all my whites for this. I am nowhere near the technology to get that for free. I'm going to do it, I think. It's such a hard call. It really is. And among other things, look at all the corruption I'm going to get from that. Are there any cards I absolutely feel like I need? I don't see anything. I would like to use some of these rocks. How much do I gain off this? Because my tech continues to grow, maybe I can do it off just one white chip. Oh! You know, I could do it off Robespierre. Is this worth a turn? That's the thing. This thing, so Khan is giving me a couple extra victory points a turn. And it's not like I'm hoarding those in. I would be losing 2 of those victory points each turn if I replace him with Robespierre. But the advantage with Robespierre is I can use my military actions. Let's do it. I don't think there's many times when Robespierre is someone you want all that badly, but no, I don't have the technology. I do not have the technology. That's the problem. Oh, no. I don't need the technology. Okay. So white, I grab a Robespierre. White, I replace Khan with Robespierre. So what has just happened here? I lose 2 strength for the Cav. And I lose 2 victory points a turn for the Cav. The 2 strength for the Cav comes back, though, because now I have my army. Okay, now what Robespierre allows me to do is he gives me another red. He allows me to burn all 3 of these red, well, all of my red, to spend 5 technology, to give myself a constitutional monarchy. Now, I get 2 more red from the constitutional technology. I've spent all my red, and I get 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I get 2 more white, which I actually get to use, which is pretty damn awesome if you ask me. All right. Now I want to build things. I don't have the science to do much, though. I burned all my science, which is the problem with all this. I'm not very happy. The Kremlin would cause problems. We don't have food, so moving people isn't terribly easy. So what am I going to do with all these damn rocks? I don't know. Eat them? You know, do I want an opera? It gives me harps and happiness. It's cheap. I guess we're going to pick up cards. I guess that's our goal here at this point. We have a lot of white cards, so it's not that big a deal. Ocean liner service. That would have cost us 4. You can increase your population without using a civil action. It costs 5 less. You know, actually, screw opera. This is what we're doing. We're spending 4, 3 for the base cost plus 1 for this to grab ocean liner service. Okay, you know. But the cool thing about this is it'll allow me to increase population, and it'll be cheaper in terms of food. And I don't have a lot of food production right now. So that works pretty well for me. Which means I go to my point production, which I think I checked and made sure was right. So that's 3 science, 1, 2, 3. Should be able to do something next turn again. And only 2 happiness. This is a problem because purple's catching up on me. And I have to pause because my battery's almost dead. I finished up the production over here. All those counters here. Okay. So, and presumably I could have fired people from philosophy, moved them to printing press, but this looks like a good use of my white chits. Okay, what about this guy? He's got a pile of cards. Now, defensive army, I'm not really close to having that yet. So then, the strongest civilization will immediately take civil cards up to the value. So, this is the question. Orange has almost no chance of getting this. That's really sweet. I'm going to play this one and keep thinking about that other one a little bit. Our event are Raiders. The 2 weakest civilizations each lose a total of 2 rocks and 2 wheat. The 2 weakest, that's going to be gray and orange. 2 rocks, 2 wheat. I'm not going to have enough food to add people anyway, so we'll lose 1 of each. The other weakest is gray. 2 rocks, 2 wheat. I'm not sure. I think I need people more than I need anything else, so I'm going to lose 2 rocks. Because I have all this happiness, I'm not constrained by that. Quite often you come to a point where you can't make your population bigger because your happiness, your production, everything, it all just kind of balances out and hits an equilibrium. I don't feel like that's the case with this culture. I feel like because of their high happiness, they can actually burn, keep producing people. That's why having a lot of yellow tokens, if you can get more of them, is really a bonus because you don't pay the cost for having a big population. You don't have to actually feed your people. Okay. I still got to get rid of another one though. Defensive army. I can't produce that yet, but that could be useful to me. I'm just so far behind on this that I'm going to throw it. I hate to do it because I like to score victory points and I'm far behind on those too. Okay. No, wait a minute. I have the cannon. I'm not going to be that far behind. I'm going to get rid of this instead because I have the cannon for the defensive army. I didn't realize that. Okay. Wow, I have a lot of white chips. Where'd they all come from? Got a couple cards here. Okay. So, increase population for full price. I don't have the money for it, so we weren't going to get the extra food for that. What kind of technology do I have? I have 5 technology. I got to get this iron moving. I think that's my most important piece right now. Although the cannon, geez, I do want to do that. So 5 tech. To put the iron up. All right. I got no more tech coming to me. So what about the Kremlin? I can't afford the Kremlin, can I? I could, but I'm awfully unhappy. Newton. Every time you play a technology, you get 1 spent civil action back. Hey, that's awesome. Wish we had more science. Okay. So, which is why we have to do this eventually, but we'll play. How much science do we have? It says 4. 2, 4. Is that it? Seriously? That sucks. All right. We're going to upgrade a person. That takes 3 rocks. That's most of what we can do. We can hold more cards. What about Transcontinental Railroad? It's not a bad buy. Gives us lots of military. We need 4 whites to start it. Gives us 1 more white. Oh. I'm gonna buy one of these yellow cards for $1. I think I'll get the one that gives me a urban building a little cheaper. Again, because, so this one gives me more rocks. Well, I still have to use the rocks. It's nice to just grab a bunch of stuff, but I would rather get a bonus off of building something, even if it's something that maybe I wasn't planning on building. Like it might prevent me from building the Transcontinental, but that's okay. Okay. Points is orange gets 4 science, 1 harp. No wonder I'm losing here. Joy. And no military. What's up with this guy? Well, the railroad will give me some additional military. This will give me military. I don't want to create the defensive army because I'm still using the medieval army. So those are stuck in my hand. I guess we check our food production, and then we have to eat 1, and we do our iron production, and we're not corrupt, and then we get 2 more military cards, and that's the end of the line, and it's time for this video to go up because it's too long. They've all been too long for this. You know, it's a funny thing with this game because a lot of the Euros have this where I can't think and play them enjoyably when I'm playing them on camera because I have to be on camera all the time. So I'm not really gaining anything by playing it solo. I think I might enjoy playing it solo without the camera, but it's so much better, you know, opposed because you're just thinking along your one terms. It's kind of like Dominion or something else where you're focusing on your one pathway, your one goal. It's not really something where there's a great narrative being told here. All right.